Yo, what's up, guys? So today's video is a little different. I'm not playing Rocket League. I'm not playing Sudoku for once. What I'm playing is chess. And oh shoot, let me restart this game here. And I'm playing here versus one of my good friends and one of my good almost like someone I can call brother since high school. Early high school. Um, and someone who I respect very much. He's super smart and such a gamer and such a good eye for games like this and just video games in general. Um, but one of the smartest dudes I know, and so today is a game versus him, a chess game versus him. Um, I'm not sure what's up with his name here. It's a little weird. I'm not sure why it's staged or whatever, but his name's Tip. And so I do get the white pieces here in a traditional game. This is a 30-minute match. A lot of time here. He plays with the black pieces. Um, only because he's the one who invited me to play him. Um, so yes, where I'm going to be reviewing the match. This match happened yesterday, and so I want to look at the match and go over like the reason why I played the way I did, some of the ups and downs of the game, and yeah, let's do it. Let's go right into it. I start with the move here, D4, and once you play D4, my idea is to play the what's called the London system, which I recently learned. And so that means this bishop, gets this open diagonal here, and we want the bishop here from C1 to go to F4. And so after I play this move D4, he goes knight C6, right? And so his idea is to attack my pawn here. And well, the pawn is defended by the queen here, so as long as I don't put nothing, in the way, I should be fine with the pawn there. And I do move the bishop to f4 with the idea I had in mind beforehand. What he plays next is this move pawn to d5, and that just opens his bishop here. Um, and so what I want to do right now, once he move this pawn, I want to support both of these pieces here, and so I go pawn to e3, supporting both of these pieces, and his next move is pawn to e6, supporting his center pawn here. And so, as you notice, we're both putting pawns dead center, locking eyes, and we both want to, get a good sense of getting a hold of the center four squares. Uh, so whoever basically controls the center here, most of the time will have an advantage in the middle game. And so we're still kind of opening our pieces up. My bishop can go here in this diagonal. um, what I do next, I also support this pawn with this pawn to c3. He willingly puts his bishop on d6, okay with trading both bishops. I forgot what I did here. Let me go on this next moves. Okay, so I opened up this space here. That way my bishop can come back, and if he takes me, then fine, right? I'll just take back with the pawn. Uh, but my idea here was put the bishop here on h2, and if he takes my bishop, I'll just take with the rook here. Um, Next, he plays pawn to e5, attacking my bishop here, and I'm pretty sure I took with the pawn again here. Now I'm attacking his bishop, but he's defending this with the knight as well, and this would be a fair trade, um, just because. See, I take the pawn. He can take here or move back, right? He does take. I take back, and he's willing to trade off these pieces here. Um, so now I attack his knight here. Um, he has to find an open space where he's not gonna get attacked, right? He can't go here because I take him with the knight. He can't go. I guess he could go here, but you probably don't want to be going back in this scenario here. Going back here is a little redundant, which you just came from. Um, so he comes and he puts knight on c4, um, which is a good move. Attacking this pawn at some point. Nothing's really defending it, so I got to find a way to do that. Also attacking this pawn right here as well, and I want to be able to defend that right now. So I'm willing to just trade off the pieces. He can take my bishop here, which he does. I trade off the queens. I just feel like it would be more comfortable playing with my four last pieces here against his four last pieces here. I have these three pawns somewhat in the middle. He only has one, which is kind of stuck. So I thought there was an advantage there. Next, I attack this pawn by putting my knight here. He, defends his pawn, natural. I here bring my knight to be able to support my other knight, and then begin attacking again. Those center squares. Um, I'm not sure what that move's about. I castle. Brings his knight out. Good move. Being to attack the center somehow, protect the center. I put my rook on d1, and my idea here is once my rook's on d1, I'll be able to move my knight here out. And if I take here, right? If I take, for example, the pawn, then the rook would be attacking the king. I didn't know this in the moment. I went here, I believe. After, so let me see. Oh, okay. I guess I went back. I went back. Um, but my idea was, once I put the rook here, I can move this knight somewhere, and then the rook would be attacking the would be attacking his king there. But he puts his knight in the way, avoiding the check there. Um, Now he defends his knight a really good um, uh, play there to defend the knight, and then let's see what do I play next. Play knight to d4. This is good for me because I can attack the pawn here, and I can also come here to potentially check the king. He defends this pawn, natural, and this pawn also supports both of these pieces. Excuse me. And you've noticed, we like yes, the time here is 30 minutes, but we're not really wasting a lot of time. Once we traded the queens off, we're like, let's get the game over with. So again, I put the knight here with check. Um, I take this free pawn is not being defended by anything. Take this pawn. He attacks the knight. Have to go back. Now he he willingly puts his knight here. That way, he's looking for me to take it. He can take back. Um, but I play knight to d6, attacking his bishop. This he moves the bishop to a safe square where, like, if I do take his bishop, he can take the knight with with his rook or with his knight as well. So I do take. He takes with his rook. Now this pawn's undefended. I put my rook a on the second to last uh I forgot what it's called, but on here on line number 7, um, attacking this pawn, attacking the knight, and basically avoiding from him to put either of his rooks somehow on um, this line here. Um, and so that's a really good, idea there. He defends his pawn, here, which I was attacking. I move up just because I assumed once he went here, he could bring his pawn, forward, and I want to avoid that, right? And if this pawn here on a3 or on that which was on a2, right? If it's here, um, this pawn wouldn't be supporting it, but now that I moved it, this pawn here is supporting the pawn on a3. He moves up just as I thought he would. I move my knight, trying to get it into the game somehow. My idea here is from f1 to go to d2 to go e4 and then c5. Um, that was my idea here. He brings his rook attacking, this pawn and basically avoiding, not letting me, use this pawn very much. Here, I continue my idea of putting my knight here on this square, protecting this rook. I defend my rook with my other rook. This pawn still protected with this pawn here. Uh, he blocks the connection between the two rooks by putting his knight here, and again his knight here is protected. I do take this free pawn. Uh, he takes my pawn here, attacking my rook. So now I will, move my rook as well. Oh, I guess I didn't move my rook. Okay, so here I go and I take this pawn, checking the king and being able to attack the rook. He has to, force to move the his king, and I willingly, take the rook with my knight, and I feel like that's a good trade just because I feel like the rook would be stronger in the end game. Now I have both of my rooks on the seventh rank here, and now I'm avoiding the king moving from this eighth rank, and hopefully potentially trading off one of these rooks for his rook, just because I believe in the end game this rook would beat this knight, right? So here I put this rook attacking this rook, and if he takes, I just take back. He defends his rook here. I take it. He takes my rook. Now it's just where I wanted, having one piece here as a rook versus his knight. Now I attack his pawn here. He moves up, defending it. Now I go here to attack his c6 pawn. He moves up here, trying to disable and uh, somehow mix up my pawn structure here. But it's three against three here. Um, Everything should get traded off pretty easily, unless someone makes like a really really dumb move. I take the pawn there on b4. Now he goes here to knight d5, attacking my rook. I take his pawn naturally. This pawn is protected with this pawn, and he's no longer attacking my rook there. He does take this pawn here and has potential to attack both of these as well, but he might, risk losing his knight there. Move my pawn up, seeing if I can, promote to a queen. He comes back, puts his knight close to the rook so I can minimize the moves. I do bring my pawn up because it is defended by the rook here. He moves down or moves up with his pawn, but I do take. And now this is dangerous because the rook is defending it. He comes back. At this point, it's pretty much lost because I mean it's five pawns versus one. The knight, can't really attack here. Can't attack this one, and moving his knight, a couple of different ways here to go all the way up here. It looks a little unnatural and yeah, almost very, very like almost impossible to save the game at this point. Yeah, the pawn will promote to a queen, and yes, he attacks my king here. All I have to do is move. No other danger there. Uh, Now he was looking to also attack this, but again defended by the rook. He does take this. He loses his knight. Now it's just two pieces for him versus one, two, three, four, five pieces for me. Um, and all I have to do here is complete ladder checkmate on him. So I go to b5. I put my rook on a safe square. He moves his king. I go to g6 with my rook. He's trying to find a safe square there. I go to a safe square with my queen. I go to h5, and all I have to do now is move all of these up. And this is where he resigns. We only used about I guess 8ish minutes of game time here, which is maybe about 20ish, a little bit less than 20ish minutes in general with both of our times. But good game from him. I think good game from me as well. I'm learning a little bit more again, uh, due due to like my initial thoughts here in terms of the way I'm gonna attack. I feel like that was like the difference maker here. He most of the time here in this game, he was just reacting to my moves, and of course that's not gonna happen naturally just because I'm white. Um, but yeah, uh, I think it'd be different. If I was playing with black, I would go through the game a little bit differently. Um, this is the system I know the most, I guess I would say, um, where the bishop comes out. I support with this pawn. Anything here is playable for black, I believe, at this level, right? At like he's 300 ish, I'm 400 ish. Um, right now we're looking just to get the pieces out, and there's not a lot of strategic. Is just get your pieces out. Let's see if we can trade stuff and move forward. But yeah, it was a good game from him and and me, and so hopefully we get to continue playing. He doesn't get mad or upset, and hopefully he doesn't get upset that I'm making this video either. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys.